So new to this version, the ability to hold Alt and roll the wheel in order to change your shape has been added. In the event that you have BC notifications enabled on the HardOps side via the opt-ins panel, whenever you hold Alt and scroll, it'll show a nice little notification on screen whenever you jump through the shape. So just to show in action why such a thing was actually added to HardOps in case it isn't immediately obvious, we'll just take this shape, scale it by half, just hold Alt, scale this Alt-Scroll to Ngon, and keep in mind instead of using the D panel or the Alt Pi, we're just scrolling it through this thing, and of course we'll use a little bit of HardOps to help us out with mirroring such because it's just one of my favorites. And this is just one of my favorite examples I kind of went through over the course of testing this last release. So we're just going about just performing our cuts, and then we're just switching over to, say, Ngon line. I'm holding Control in order to snap because I did not enable Ngon perma snap. At this point of the video, because you've listened to me meander so long about some of the basics of this, that you should basically have a pretty good idea about how this tool should work, despite me not going over all the behaviors or every single operation in depth. In fact, this is one of my worst infomercials in my head, at least the way I'm seeing it, but hopefully I'll pick up the pace as this gets on. But we see that I'm able to just quickly just scroll through these shapes and bring up just different shapes just on the fly. Here I am using line box without having to bring up a D panel or a Control D in order to change anything, just depending on what it is that I wish to do with this at the time. In fact, we can grab this and I'll use a little bit of HardOps to mark this and make it rounded, and that should give us a little something to work with as far as the shape goes. And we can shift click sharp and roll the wheel in a little bit, and we'll just keep working our way through. We'll bring in a circle and shift rotate the wheel in order to choose how many segments we want this to be. In this case, I'm going to go for 6, press T, add a little bit of solidification. We'll use that hole as the jump off and just bring that in, and then we'll do the same thing over here. In fact, why are we doing it like that when we could actually extract this? Maybe not press T, sorry about that, press Y, extract it, and then bring it out proportionally, and then Control double click in order to repeat it the way that it was supposed to be. Maybe undo that one, that one's a little too close to the other one. But we'll just repeat this shape around a couple of times, and we're just moving on with this. In fact, there I was bringing up the D Pi again. I just can't help myself. Old habits die hard. But at the case in point with this particular segment is to show that AltScroll is a very fast way to get through all the shapes that BoxCutter has to offer. One of the things I noticed with 716 was that a lot of people didn't know about wedge and line box in the last version, even though there's buttons for it on the top bar to allow you to really rapidly jump out of box and into line box if you want. For example, if you're in line box and you just hate it, you just click this button and you're just back in box. It's just great. One of the things I noticed whenever I was using line box is that I hated it sometimes. Sometimes I would want to just get the heck out of line box. So that's one of the things that we hope to bring to the table with this particular update, that users should be able to just hold Alt and just roll the wheel in order to get to the operations they want to on the fly. Got a little bit of strangulation happening with my PC for some reason. Also, for some reason I broke my AltScroll. Let's try that again. There we go. And then we turn it off and it completely breaks my scroll. So it looks like I found my first bug over the course of this video. So we'll be getting that checked into immediately afterwards, but nothing big, just an interesting curiosity. There's always a curiosity to get in my way whenever I'm attempting to demonstrate things, but that is life. But hopefully you get the point of why someone would want to be able to alt scroll through these things and how it can be beneficial towards you getting the most out of BoxCutter and just jumping through these shapes on the fly without a whole lot of fuss. And keep in mind that we were able to get to this level just within 4 minutes and 30 seconds.